Hello everyone, today I'm here to do a joint book review, a review mashup if you will, of two different books. The books I will be reviewing today are The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly by Stephanie Oakes and The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee, Ahdieh. I probably pronounced those both wrong. So if you want to see just one of the reviews, I will leave tabs down below for you to click which one you want to see, or if you want to see both of them, just keep on watching. I will try to keep these as spoiler free as possible, just a quick synopsis of the book and what I thought, that way it's to be easy breezy. We don't know. Anyway, let's begin. First, we're going to talk about The Secret Lies of Minnow Bly. I sent both of these books by Penguin, just to let you know too, so thanks Penguin. This one is about a girl named Minnow who has been in a cult, a religious cult, since she was like 5 years old. Her parents put her in it, and she has just learned everything in this cult. So she grows up in it, and then one day she rebels, I think when she's like 16, and they cut off her hands. And things happen after that, like the cult where they live at goes up in flames, and their leader or their prophet has been murdered, and now Minnow is in juvie and for something, and a detective comes and wants to help her out, only if she's willing to tell him about all the secrets and stuff that happened when she was in that cult. So this was a very, it was a different book for me. It's a kind of a contemporary, but it's more about a religious cult. It's about a girl that's been stuck in this all of her life, and now that she's out of it, she's learning how to learn things pretty much for herself rather than being forced upon her. And it was just a very, very weird book in that aspect because the whole cult thing. And it's also weird because I am religious, and I'm not ashamed of saying that at all. I'm a Christian, but so I felt like this is going to be very hard for me to review, because I know some people might think, well, your religion, you're forcing people and doing stuff like that. And I don't want to get into that debate because, like, yes, so hard. I don't want to get into that debate because I'm not going to change my mind. You're not going to change your mind, okay? So just know that I'm speaking for this book strictly as like just a book perspective. I'm not throwing my religion into it. I'm not throwing anything into it. I'm just like observing it as a book reviewer. So let's just know that, okay? The whole book was just beyond crazy. The fact that she gets her hands cut off because she rebelled, I was beyond crazy about that. Just to think that there are cults out there that do that, like that if you rebel, they'll cut off your hands, or they'll just, it's the whole cult thing was crazy. It was just basically this guy, he called himself a prophet, and he brought all these people to this like place out in the woods. They didn't have electricity, they didn't have really water, they didn't have anything. They had to do everything for themselves, and he had Bible studies, and these men married lots of women, had lots of babies. The kids couldn't really know who their true mother was, like who gave birth to them, because they're all technically their mothers. And it was just, in the whole thing of what he taught him, like of how stuff came to be and everything, I was like, this is just crazy. And I felt so sorry for Minnow, because she seemed to be the only one that was very like, why is it this way, and why is it this way, and why is it this way? And religion, I think it's very valid to ask those questions, because you want to know how things happen, how you are made, why does the sun look like that, why does this happen, you know? I think those are valid questions, and I think they should be answered, and they should be like, not be like, why do you ask these questions? No, everyone's a curious person. I think I was about to say God instilled that in us, but I don't want to get to that religion. But Minnow was just the only one who dared to ask all these questions. Everyone just followed blindly. And I get that, but then I'm like, I don't get that. I think there's a certain extent to like, it's just like, it's so hard for me personally to review this book because of my religion. I really liked the book. I thought it was very interesting. It was very eye-opening book for me to know that there are people that will get their hands cut off for disobeying and stuff like that. And I just find that odd, and I find everything about it odd, but it was so intriguing. It was almost like a mystery of how was the prophet killed? How did their whole like cult place get on fire? Like what happened? What made Minnow go into juvie? It's a very, very mystery type of book as well. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just feel like it's just kind of a mesh, kind of a blurring of lines with me and my feelings of this book with religion, because I could say a lot of things about it that I don't agree with anything in it of why this cult happened. I think a lot of people would agree with me, like they think it's crazy, but I think a lot of people will comment and say, well, that's how your religion is. That's what happens to you. You guys don't get your hands cut off, but you have this happen to you. And I don't want to get into that because I don't want to make anybody feel awkward. I just don't want that. So yeah, that's the reason why. Not because I'm ashamed or anything like that. I don't want to get people crazy. But anyway, I really like this book. If you're looking for a very intriguing, a very kind of odd, very kind of scary almost book, definitely give this one a try. I gave it a 3 out of 5, leaning more towards 3.5. I didn't love it, not to say this won't stick with me. I liked it, that's for sure. So yeah, that is what I thought about The Secret Lives of Minnow Bly. I like how that kind of rhymes. Good job, Stephanie Oaks. You intrigued me. And the last book I'm going to talk about is The Wrath of the Dawn by Renee. That's what I'm calling you. This is a retelling of 1001 Nights, like this old Arabian tale, I think. And I want to say before I get into this one as well, this was kind of a confusing book for me because there was a lot of words in it I didn't understand, and props to the author, by the way, because she put like a glossary in the back, so I constantly had to refer to that. Like I was like, what does a cuirass mean? And stuff like that. So I had to look in the back, but yeah. So like I said, this is kind of almost a retelling of 1001 Nights. It's about this land, and it's about this king who's 18 years old, and every night he takes a new wife. That wife to be murdered by dawn the next day. So what happens is this girl named Shahrazad, puts herself up to the challenge to marry the king because he actually murdered her best friend who had married him, and she wants to survive the dawn. She wants to learn all these king's secrets of why he's doing this to these girls and, you know, kill him herself. So she marries him. Instead, she finds that he is not what she expected, and they somewhat fall in love, and she's learning things, and it was very, very, very intriguing book. Like, it had me hooked. I flew through this book because I was so engrossed in Shahrazad's and Khalid's relationship. I love how it progressed, how it became, how you think at first he's this monster of a man, and then you learn things about him. So this was a very, very interesting book. I can't go into much without spoiling it. I will say, if you're easily confused, maybe kind of just make sure you look at the glossary, okay? Because I'm easily confused with books, no lie. So yeah, I really like this one. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I'm really interested in the rest of how the series goes, especially after that ending. Like, what's gonna happen? But it was so good. If you like retellings, if you like the Arabian Nights kind of thing, because she retells, I think, some of the stories in 1001 Nights. Don't quote me on that. So it was just really interesting. And plus, Shahrazad's one of my favorite new main characters. Like, she don't take no chances. She will, boom, knock you out. Like, we need more chicks like that. Okay, those were the 2 books I talked about, I reviewed about. Hope you liked them. Hope this video was to your liking. I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I really liked it. The ending wasn't super amazing, but it was definitely a better ending than some YA trilogies have ended, like in Heartbreak and stuff. So this one was like,